care to wander off into the alfalfa with me? I thought we'd just drop in tonight to get a read on the energy and just see what message we can pluck from the void to guide us in whatever way we most need to receive at this time. I do have some pretty big downloads that I'm working on in relation to the transit, the major transit of Neptune and Aries, and soon to be joined by Saturn there. It's a very different flow and it is quite a dynamic energy, but I want to really make sure that I have everything dialed in with that before I present it. So I thought tonight we would just drop in and see what wants to come through. And we're going to open up with my big old oracle deck that I got a few decks combined here just to get an overarching theme. The Sacred Rebels Oracle, the White Light Oracle, and the Halloween Oracle all combined here. So a bit of a hodgepodge of energy brought together, which is a lot like this energy right now. It's a little bit of everything all at once, and it's on maximum volume. It's turned to 11. It goes to 11. So let's see, what is the basis of the matter we got here? Well, there's a change going on here, releasing allegiances. You're recognizing things you're no longer in alignment with. And there's divided loyalties in some cases. This is a bit of a turning of the wheel of fortune here. So let's see what you're releasing your allegiance to. Could be a person, place, or thing. It could be a belief. It could be an old version of yourself, something that compromised you. Many different ways this could be coming through, but let's get some more details. Releasing allegiances is the basis of the matter. So I think you may be looking at this too. Releasing allegiances that can influence the path ahead, coming in with the Pathfinder medicine here. That's because you got some kind of guidance that came in here with the Oracle of Chaldea. It's giving you some kind of clarity again. Wow, it comes in with the energy of 10. Wheel of Fortune. So you're getting a new sense of direction here. It's something that's inspired by coming to a higher place in your consciousness, I feel. You just have a different view of what you're aligned with and what you're not. And you're following this. And maybe it's the first time you've really allowed yourself to just trust your own inner sense of direction here. And I think that's excellent, real excellent to be in that space. Okay, tell me about this. What is this vision that's coming forward for the collective? Oh, you're dreaming a beautiful new dream, something that will actually weave happiness in your world. And look, it's 19 and it breaks down again to 10. Wheel of Fortune, synchronicity, 10, 10, 10. Synchronicities coming through 1 and the 0, the energy of the Fool, the energy of the Magician. So things are opening up right now that lead to a path of happiness and transformation. It's the enacting of a brand new vision. It does really require your energy to come on board here, to come into a state of alignment, and there is something sort of higher steering the wheel here. You could say a higher hand steering the wheel, or there's the sense of that. You're activating a higher place in your consciousness too. It's working through you here. Oh, some kind of sovereignty that's been reclaimed here with Sovereign Queen Ma. Beautiful energy. It's giving you a message to share too. There's a vision coming in, but there's also something that's coming through you. And it might be something that is coming through you on the World Wide Web, because I see something that could have some reach. It's something that's inspired, or it's something you feel like you need to contribute to the collective in some way, shape, or form. So a bit of spiritual tone to what's coming through here. Ooh, and there's absolutely a new creative cycle coming into being here with Tantra. of 639 hertz. You might want to work with that hertz frequency to come into this balance of polarities within, because this really feels like this is something that's happening energetically. There's something that you're alchemizing here between the active and the receptive. It may be preparing you to come into alignment with another as well, but we know as within, so without. So I really do feel like this is an inner alchemical process that's underway here. It's something that is uniquely inspired through you that you're wanting to come forward with here. But in order to step into this, there's something about recognizing you need to release certain allegiances because they're not in harmony with this path. If you're really going to step into this role, I mean, Queen Mab is a very interesting, enigmatic character. Some refer to her as the Queen of Fairy, and others view her as this warrior ruler who had a lot of strength and power. Some would say the strength and power of the Emperor. Very interesting and also mysterious history associated. And is it lore or is it reality? There's a lot of kind of this blurring of lines between being able to really decipher who Queen Mab is. But we know that she is seen with great respect. Seen with great respect when we see the different tales in the lore that unfolds around her. So this is interesting energy. There's something about to step into a place of esteem and respect in your life and like take your appropriate place in the story of your life. You need to release some allegiance in order to bring in this next creative cycle, what you're ready to step into here. Because there's a dream that is being awakened within you, but through you. It's something you're going to share. You're going to share it with the world. It's something that's aligned with your purpose. And you may say, I don't see myself sharing anything with the world, but every time you're online, you're sharing something with the world. So all I know is there's something that's meant to come through you here, but you're in this process of sort of balancing out the active, the receptive sides of yourself, the creative energy in you that wants to be expressed, and also trying to really understand the reality tunnel that it wants to come through, the avenue of its expression. So there's something you're deciphering here. Let me get some more details here. There's also something that may lead to a connection with another. There could be something coming through here as well. Somebody feels their counterpart harmonizing with them. It's coming in with the energy of the moon. So it's almost like sensing a shift of a significant connection coming in. The presence of a connection coming in. It's interesting because it is coming through as soul recognition too. But it's not here in the physical yet. Whew. I mean, it's absolutely something visionary, and look at the way it's like lit up with that high priestess sort of crown, and it's coming through the center, almost landing right in the heart, as if the heart is a chalice itself. This is something that is being charged. You're picking this up very strongly. You feel like something is really about to shift. You're feeling the shifting happening within you. It's causing you to feel like you need to break away from certain associations that you've held. You're not loyal to the same things you were once loyal to. Something's really transforming in you. It's awakening a new vision in you. And I feel like you're also sensing the connection of another of significance that's coming in here. But it's more something that's being harmonized within yourself first. So it's coming through with Sagittarian energy, Leo, Pisces, We also have Cancerian energy coming in here. And then there's something about really trusting what you feel teeming within you, coming in with the Emperor energy, Aries. You may be doing a lot of journeying work too. You may find that you're journeying to some really deep places in your meditations, or even when you're just out on nature walks and in a reflective sort of space, your consciousness is really journeying to places. You may be familiar with methods of doing actual like shamanic journeying, where you go into the underworld and you really do a lot of deep soul integration kind of work. Some of you have been doing this kind of work. Some of you have done soul retrieval work. You're getting to the other side of a long process. If you've ever been through a soul retrieval, it's something that reveals itself in stages and layers. It's not like you call your soul part back and then all of a sudden you're like, yeah, I feel like I'm whole again. I mean, you do have sort of this homecoming vibe that comes in initially, but it reveals itself in stages. And there's also this piece about it where often it has almost like this rubber band effect, where everything that was attached to that point of psychic fragmentation, where you lost that soul aspect of yourself, gets pulled back to you along with that soul part that's splintered off. And I'm speaking of it from a shamanistic perspective here, although they use similar methods in psychology when they're working with bringing about psychic integration and healing the psyche, where there's been something that happened that caused one to have their consciousness attached to a particular time and space that it keeps revisiting. You know, we can see this in post-traumatic stress disorder. So there's something about this that you've been in a deeply psychologically, spiritually reintegration period. And it might have been from something really heavy that went down for you. It could have been something that had happened with another that you were in a deep place of synergy with. Okay, this could have been somebody that you were in a very intimate, it's coming through as very intimate relationship with. Beyond just the physical, there was spiritual intimacy in this connection, but there was also deception, and there were damaging things that happened in this connection. I don't feel like just you have been in this process. You may be experiencing some echoes of feeling sort of like almost like a parallel timeline where another has been in a similar integration process of spiritual healing. And I do feel like there's a new vision that's coming through for you here. But I don't necessarily think that it's for you to come into harmony with this other. Not necessarily, but yet that plays a key role. Something needed to be really integrated with that before you could open up to the path that is getting ready to line up for you. That's what I feel. And it does take you into wild places, places unexplored. It is a path of power. It's a path of transformation. And it happens in stages. And it's interesting here because we have 3 Pathfinder cards, which almost makes me think of 3 different paths. So I wonder if we're ending up at another sort of pick a reality tunnel read. It's kind of the way it's coming through. Ooh, and it is coming through with totems too. So why don't we do this to get some details about what is this path that you're being asked to step into here? Because I do have the sense that some of you may be in a deeply healing, integrative process with another, and that it's time for you two to merge forces. For others of you, there was something you needed to complete, and it really creates a point of integration with the past. It brings you in the present, and it makes you in a receptive space where you can actually receive the charge of the new path you're meant to step onto. And then some of you feel like, I don't know how else to describe it other than you feel like there's some kind of fateful meeting in store. And not necessarily, that's interesting. I just heard meeting your maker, meeting the master maker, perhaps. Some of you may be feeling that you're at the end of your life's journey. Some of you may be, in a position where you're really up there in the years. A lot of years passed. Some of you may be dealing with serious health challenges. Some of you may just really be feeling old man Saturn. You're feeling the march of time. You feel like something is really radically shifting for me. Sometimes that can feel like a death too. If you're having a really big awakening and you recognize that you no longer feel connected to things you used to feel connected to, it's like a whole different identity is being born, or rather you're about to wash up onto that shore and you're being reborn as that great bard, the one who is the wanderer, the adventurer, and you are heading completely into unknown territory. And it is like a new lore coming through you, okay? And I do sense that some could be facing real challenges that are causing you to really reflect on your life, reflect on the time that you have. And it is part of life. It's a part that we'll all go through. It's a part we'll all experience. So I want to speak to that. I don't think we need to turn away from things like that. Some of you are integrating the loss of somebody. Somebody transitioned. And there's a lot you've been integrating around that. It felt like a death for you too. I think it's important that we hold space for this. People are afraid to talk about this, but it's part of life. It's part of life. And yet I see new life teeming here. There's new things that want to grow. There's new things that are coming through you. There's new things that are awakening within you. And there could be a very important connection along the way. But let's give 3 different reality tunnels here, okay? So it's just really going to depend on what animal you're feeling is really calling you right now. And you may feel that more than one calls you, and that's okay too. But the first we have is Yeshi Sokya, coming in with the energy of 333 and the number 33. So if this has been a synchronicity that has been coming through for you for quite a while, if you feel like you have been a bit of a survivor, like you've had to outlast some tricky energy, if you feel like you've been dealing with a lot that's been concealed, you've had to really invoke a certain fighting spirit. In some cases, you've had to go many rounds, you've had to have endurance, you've had to keep your eye on the prize. You've had to stay really focused. You've had the eye of the tiger, the thrill of the fight, standing up to the challenge of your rivals. Then you may want to pick Reality Tunnel 1 here. And this is going to be the reality tunnel that's going to be leading up to the Stargate. So there might be a montage moment for you if you're drawn to Reality Tunnel 1 here. Reality Tunnel 2 comes in with Bastet, coming in with the number 13. Strong Scorpio signature. Also with this Reality Tunnel, the first one here, Strong Empress signature. Also something involving a choice or the Lovers or the Crossroads, okay? And as I said, that is 1929 on the clock. There could be a Leo in this situation. There could be a Libra in this situation. There could be a need to balance something from the past. Okay. Reality Tunnel 2 comes in with the energy of Bastet, Strong Scorpio signature. There may have been a death. There may have been an ending that you've been integrating. You may feel very drawn to the Egyptian pantheon, Bastet, or cats specifically. There may be something secret or mysterious about a situation that you've been navigating. I also feel that recently you got your wings. There's something you're nurturing within your heart. Even now, it's just waiting to crack open and reveal the birth that comes through on the other side. It's like something's gestating in your heart. Maybe you felt something recently shift in your heart space, just energetically here. Yes, and coming in with the energy signature of Scorpio, also 13 breaks down to 4. So the Emperor, there could be an Emperor in your situation, an Aries in your situation, okay? And then finally, we have Beta of Spirit Wolf coming through. And there's also something that's recently landed in the heart space for you that feels very clear. Feels like you got a clear sense of direction. You do have a lot awakening in the visionary space right now. There's a lot of downloads you're getting. You do have a sense of a new vision. It's very much aligned with your heart. I feel like you're already aware of a path of purpose. Pisces could be connected to this situation. Pisces is wolf on the medicine wheel. Also coming in with the energy of 5, the Hierophant. So there could be some kind of power structure that you're dealing with here. There may be something that you're seeking freedom from in a situation, because I think the Hierophant, there's 2 keys there. So there could be a key connection here too. Something that needs to be resolved in order to find the way through. Also, Pathfinder medicine, picking up the scent of the trail. Your moon is calling you in a certain direction. Somebody is your moon. Something is your moon. Coming in with that energy of 5. Okay, so life path 5 too for this particular reality tunnel 3. Life path 4 could be significant for reality tunnel 2, and life path 6 could be significant, or 9 as well, or 9. And yeah, I think of that 6 and 9, 15. There could be a little devilish character connected to your situation, or something that's been a bit of a devil, all right? I'm picking up a lot of energy off of this first reality tunnel, as far as really been navigating a lot of stuff here, needed a lot of endurance, all right? So pick your reality tunnel. You can resonate with more than one, but I'm going to just do like a little read with some tarot on each of these to get some details. There is some kind of magic afoot in this situation. Something is being transformed here. You are moving through unknown territory, all of us in the collective, but we do have a certain vision that's awakening within us that allows us to see clearly through the dark. And this is about wise seeing, wise action. We're about to come into alignment with a certain level of discernment that allows us to take an action that brings about radical transformation in our lives. And it opens up a path, okay? So let's see what this path is about. And I'm going to go ahead and move these other cards out of the way, just so I can keep it really clear with the 3 separate reality tunnels here. And I don't know, maybe one tunnel leads to another too. These could be 3 separate checkpoints as well, all right? So relate to them however you relate to them. If when I just said that just now, that really dings for you, this may be like stepping stones too, to your path opening with that stargate. So approach this, pick a reality tunnel in whatever way it speaks to you, okay? Trust your discernment. Maybe we'll go ahead and read them, like kind of all out in the open like this too, to see the way they harmonize together. Bottom of the deck, we got the Four of Swords, resting on some truth for the collective energy here. Let's just dive into it. I'm going to begin first with Reality Tunnel 1 here. Yeshi Shokal and the 333 synchronicity numbers. Life path 6, life path 9, factoring prominently. Also the 6th month. The 6th month would be June. That could be Gemini. That could be Cancer coming in there. As well as the 9th month. Virgo, Libra energies coming in there. Okay. So let's see. Also, you could be born in the year of the tiger in Chinese astrology. So let's go ahead and bring that energy in too. So we do have the year of the fire horse coming in here soon. And that's really going to get things off to quite a blazing start. Talk about blazing a trail, okay? Things really get stirred up and there's a lot of movement that comes in the year of the fire horse. So we're all going to get moving here. This much is guaranteed. So give me some details about this particular path here. There could be a Gemini connected to your situation, real strong Gemini signature here. Also, Gemini portion of your chart is activated right now. So check out what you got going on in the 3rd house. Any Gemini placements. Okay. It's going to give you a clue about where there's some kind of helpful assistance coming in as well. Maybe communication coming in too. Pay attention to the planets there and any signs connected to 3rd house as well as where you have any Gemini placements. Okay, because these could signal characters that are connected to your situation, where this communication is coming from. There's also something you're transforming in the South Node here, coming in with that 9 energy signature. It does evoke Virgo, the Hermit archetype. Something's going to light up your path ahead. I also see you heading forward first out the gate, sort of like you may have had to go on a lonely stretch of road here where you may have had to separate yourself from the pack. You may find that you have others joining you soon, allies joining you soon. Some are catching up with you, some are newcomers onto the path. Okay. I'm just getting all the information I can coming through this. You've had a lot of endurance though. Whatever this is, you know where you're going. It's leading to your place in the sun. And that's why you've been able to endure, because you are getting sustenance coming in just from the vision alone. And I do feel like you've had some measure of progress. You're just not quite there yet. There's still more stretch of the road to come. The 9 energy also aligns with the 9th house of Sagittarius, okay? There could be a journey involved. You could feel like your life has been quite a journey. You've gone down a long stretch of road here. Yes, and you've reached some kind of higher ground here, and I do feel like you're holding the line. You're holding the line here. I do feel like you've just recently gotten yourself to a position where you're out of reach of some energies that could thwart you moving forward. And it's also giving you a lay of the land. You're kind of able to see above all of maybe what used to be allegiances that need to be released, because we have to go with the energy that came through in our opener there. Trust yourself in relation to your judgment. Any connections that you released or any opportunities that you said no to. Maybe in the past it would have been something you would have jumped at, but you're really just in a position now where you're like, no, not so much. Not so much. That's not the path for me. Okay, you made the right judgment call in relation to that. It was the right call for the right time, I'm hearing. Sometimes time can change things, but you know, you can't live on borrowed time. You know what I'm saying? You're never guaranteed the time you have. So all you have is the moment. You got to make your choices, stand by them, and follow your choice through. And anything that is meant to cross paths with you down the road will. And if it's not, you didn't waste your time holding yourself back. Bottom of the deck, we got a Queen of Cups here studying something, trying to see into something, but feels like they don't have access. Trying to see into a King of Wands who's looking in the opposite direction. King of Wands, and I feel like there is sort of like this protective energy you have up here. You're trying to allow something to become more illuminated before you're going to be receptive, maybe. Receptive to anything heading your way. I feel like you sense that there's conflict brewing here. You can sense that you need to just hold something at bay. Hold something at bay. I do feel like there's fire that's wanting to come your way. Could be a fire sign. Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. Could be somebody that wants to take an action in your direction. It could even be a Queen of Cups, specifically a Queen of Cups with strong Leo in their chart, right? Could be somebody connected to your past. This could even be a couple. Yeah, it could be a couple connected to your past, something that's been cut off. You may have been connected to one of these people or both of these people at one time. Because I see that there was some kind of alignment there in the past. But there's been some kind of intrusion from a third element here. A third element. There was some kind of betrayal, something sneaky happened here, judgment on that. And I do feel like what was hidden is coming to light here. This is something leading up to the Stargate. And there's a desire to balance things out. Somebody may want to balance things out with you, but I feel like you're being very protective. You're focused. You're focused on what you have your sights set on here. So that's just like an opening energy. Strong Aquarian energy, Leo rising, Leo in general, Scorpio, Sagittarian energy, pretty strong coming through here. Pisces. There could also be this piece of somebody connected to a King of Wands has an intuitive hit that this King of Wands is approaching somebody. And they may have been trying to, or has the desire to approach somebody. And they've been trying to hold this back in some way, shape, or form. And they're tired from trying to hold it back. But maybe now they're in a position where they can't hold it back any longer. And something is going to be revealed here that at one point was concealed. And what I see is right now the guidance is coming through for you to really keep your point of focus. Don't be distracted by this. This feels like this is something that could bring some complication your way. Bottom of the deck is the Ten of Cups. But I'm not picking up that kind of energy from it, you know. That may be the approach about some sense of togetherness, some sense of healing. But I'm not liking that energy that's coming through because it's saying hold this at bay. So let me just get a little clarification on that. I mean, you're opening a brand new road here. I see that. And I feel like this is more an energy that's trying to catch up, to catch you up, hold you back right as you're about to take a leap into a brand new cycle here and open your road. Yeah, look at this. I'm telling you, you have some opportunity in your hands that you need to preserve here. You got the whole world in your hands with this opportunity. Your road is opening. This energy senses this because you broke allegiance. And you're meant to open your road here and head in a brand new direction. But this could get you caught up. Okay, let me do a cut of the deck here, see what we got. We do have a sense of nostalgia here. There is somebody that is connected to your past. It came out twice. This could be somebody that's a soulmate, somebody that would like to come together with you. Or it could be somebody that you're connected to. It could even be a family member or somebody you view as family that you have a connection with. All right? Interesting. Somebody is going to reach out to you. You do share a connection with this person. They want to communicate some kind of truth to you. And they do come in with fire and they want to open up a communication. This is somebody you have not been in contact with for a while. I do feel like they've arrived at some truth. They've come to some place of discernment. They want to communicate here. They feel like you'll block them, like you won't be receptive to the advance. I actually see quite the opposite. You welcome the advance of the truth, but I think that there won't be any set action taken for a while because I do feel like you're sort of waiting to see how things pan out. And you are staying focused on something that you're building here. What would be the right course of action? What does this particular reality tunnel need to focus on? I see what's coming in here. You need to have endurance. You need to stay focused. You may be facing a little bit of a tricky situation here. I do see that naturally your guard is going to be up because I feel like you released an allegiance here. Somebody may be trying to act as an intermediary to try to get you to heal a connection with a friend or a family member too. I could see that. And maybe you have your reasons for releasing an allegiance and you're not receptive to it. Somebody may have very personal motivations for that, not really considering you as much as they are considering themselves in regard to that message coming in. Let me see what this is about. What would be in the best interest of reality tunnel 1? Interesting. Whoa. Block it. Block it. Block this advance. Block it. Keep your focus. You need to stay focused here. Don't lose the plot right now. You need to stay focused, okay? There's something that you've been focusing on for a long time. I feel like it's just about to pay off. It's just about to reach that point of the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of Cups. And it may feel like it's still far off, but I feel that actually you're closer than you think. But there's energies that sense this or may have caught wind of something that is coming your way. And as a result, they're going to try to send somebody in here to, it feels like, act as a mediator. Somebody they feel that you'll be receptive to hearing out. And it looks like you will be receptive to hearing this person out. But I think you'll see through what's going on here pretty quickly. It's somebody trying to get you to soften your stance in relation to an allegiance you released. And you have your reasons. You have your reasons why that's a non-negotiable. And this person may act like they're trying to consider, you know, what's good for you. But I feel their desire for you to make peace with this person has more to do with something that protects their interests or covers their butt. That's what I got, all right? We'll do one final round, you know, on all of these reality tunnels, but I kind of want to go through and get information on each of these separate reality tunnels. We got the Emperor on the bottom of the deck upright. As I went to go and put these back, I turned it upright. So yeah, you got an Emperor here, all right? There's an Emperor here. You got some King of Wands coming towards you, but there's an Emperor here. And this is also about you sitting in your power. So you already know where things are at. Like I said, you got a certain perspective. You got a lay of the land. You know what you're dealing with. You also know what you need to focus on. So you would be advised to stay focused and not get distracted by this. Coming in with big Aries energy also makes me think of Neptune in Aries. Also, Saturn's going to be coming into Aries. So that energy is really teeming. It's coming in here pretty quick. And with that activation, this is really about you staying focused on your dreams, because you're almost there. You're almost there. You don't want to get caught up in conflict. There's conflict here. I see it. I see it. All right, let me get this deck for Reality Tunnel 2, the Bastet. The Bastet Tunnel, which could be just a connecting point. I mean, these tunnels could all connect. They could. These could be like gateways that lead us up to the Stargate. It'll be kind of interesting to see how this comes through. Show me about this second reality tunnel here with Bastet for the collective. For those who chose this reality tunnel. I don't know. I have a feeling like these might be checkpoints too. They could be checkpoints. I'm kind of feeling a little dualism here. And for those of you that are just staying with the set like reality tunnel, it may be that, you know, these can hint at checkpoints that are out there right now that maybe you don't feel ready to step into. Okay? So just some different ways of looking at this. I know this is not like your traditional pick a pile, but who cares? I think it's more interesting. It allows more kind of creativity to come through and new ways of looking at things and sort of working with whatever surfaces here. Okay. Ooh, so you are definitely ready to transform something here. You may be ready to renew something, bring something back to life, taking a strong action. I mean, I do feel like you faced some major ending in your life. You did come in with this signature of death, right? But now you're on the other side of something here. You're ready to transform something. Something's coming back to life. You're coming back to life, okay? I mean, you do have the signs of life there in your heart. Something in your heart is getting its wings, okay? Maybe something was transformed. Maybe you released allegiance to an old way and now something is being transformed within you. Wow, look at this. As a result of a tower, you had a huge breakthrough moment here. Something radically transformed for you. I feel like this is a complete change of perspective that was brought about by some kind of crisis in your life. And now you're about to receive something that's going to pour right into your heart. And it gives you this sense of freedom. It gives you this sense of expansion. You never expected this. I feel like you haven't even been open. You haven't even been open to really opening your heart to another. But there's something that's very healing coming in here for you. Something that will be a source of celebration for you. Also with the Bastet energy, it's the awakening of pleasure and playfulness in your life. Maybe even a little bit of sensuality, okay? So let's see what's coming in here. I think there's an offer coming your way and it's something you really don't expect. It's going to kind of rock you when this comes in. I feel like it surprises you. It blows your mind, right? There could be a Scorpio, real strong Scorpio signature, Scorpio, Aquarius, Aries connected to this. You've been kind of focusing on yourself, I feel. You've been pouring a lot of energy into yourself. You've been healing. You've been connecting more with your spirituality. And just really, it's coming through as like finding yourself again. Maybe you feel like you lost yourself. You got lost in, interesting how that came through. You got lost in someone's deception. They sort of architected a very false reality around you, and you really bought into this reality, and then it all came crashing down. You really had to pull your energy back and just pour it into yourself. You had to heal yourself. And now there's an opportunity to heal with another, I feel. Or heal through coming together with another. At least opening yourself up. It's just an invitation, but it seems like the invitation alone to open your heart to this is sort of like, whoa, it rocks you. Came in with 45, 55 on the clock. Yeah, you're not expecting this. It does make you feel like, oof, like, am I ready? Am I ready to leap into this? It feels like exciting, right? But also a little nervousness around it too. Also may have some people around you cautioning you, like, I don't think you should do that. I would say don't listen to other people, okay? You also might want to keep this to yourself. Don't let others taint what could be a really powerful awakening experience for you. That's what I got, okay? Not everything needs to be shared with others. Something is just for you. Something's just for you. Okay. Let's see what this is coming in. Something may really peak in the summertime in relation to whatever this is. Or this could be, you know, for those of you who are looking at this through more of an angle of different initiation gateways, this could be what's coming in the summertime. Okay. I think that's enough shuffling. So maybe some things need to be moved around. Okay. Maybe some things need to be moved around to accommodate this. If somebody wants to come into union with you, there could be a past connection. It could be something that's being transformed and healed out of the past. This doesn't have to be with a past person, but it could be that you went through something really difficult with a relationship in the past, and that allegiance had to be released so you could come into connection with this person. And that is what's sort of being transformed, alchemized out of what was painful for you in the past. It's giving your heart wings. It's also giving you freedom from the past. Maybe you never thought you would even be receptive to open your heart to another after what you went through in the past. And now you have the strength to do that because of the way that you poured into yourself and the way that the experience you had in the past, yes, it rocked you, but it broke you open, and it really blew your mind and changed you fundamentally in a way that opens you up to a different kind of experience now and what it means to come together with another person. It could be with a past person, though. There could be a past connection for some of you. If it went awry in the past, it was likely because of some kind of outside interference. Could have been another lover. There was some kind of deception here. And it's something that really rocked you to your core. Right? So there may be a reason why, if you were to share this with other people, they would really be against it. And yet there's something here about you have to trust your own wisdom here, all right, in making your choices. In making your choices. I do feel like there is something you're incubating in your heart here. There is this egg, there's this potential centered in your heart. There's something you do want to birth here. There's something you want to bring forward here. For some of you, there could be giving yourself permission. If you had a lover pass away, you may not have even felt ready to open up your heart to love again. Some of you may have even had feelings of betraying your love in your readiness to open up to something you really do want to open up to. Okay. Feel that coming through for somebody. I do feel like there's blessing on this for who that speaks to. They would want you to be happy. They'd want you to open up to this experience, okay? Yeah, it looks good. It looks good, but it might not have been like, it might not have been on the game plan. You know what I mean? Like you weren't anticipating this. That's how it's coming through. Something sort of unexpected that I feel like awakens you to more pleasure and playfulness in your life. Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a road opening here. I do feel like, did you see the way that came out? It was a little messy. So yeah, I mean, you may feel like there's something sneaky here, but there's nothing sneaky about it. 7 of Swords in reverse. This person can be trusted. That's what I feel. But you may be prone to putting up your defenses. So going back to what came in before, this could have been somebody who lied to you in the past or who cheated on you in the past or in some way did something sneaky in the past and you put up your defenses. But I feel like maybe when you released your allegiance to this person, that made them look at something in a whole new way. And they want to change things, okay? So it's interesting. It does kind of like have a little bit of similar vibes as what came in for pile 1 there. Give me more information about this. I mean, we have the 8 of Cups come out here and it landed on top of Reality Tunnel 3. So this looks like something you passed by because there's a different alignment coming in for you. Basis of the matter. Or you know where you're going. You know who you're going toward. This is something that will become more clear with the new moon, Ring of Fire in Aquarius. There's something you're going to be walking away from in about 8 weeks because of something that's approaching you. And whatever is approaching you, it's putting you in a position where you're no longer burdened. You're no longer in the dark about what it means to move forward, trusting your heart, because something's been made very clear. Very clear. Also, somebody's coming in to illuminate something for you, and they're also lifting a burden from you. They feel like you've been weighed down by something unnecessarily. They want to make the load lighter for you. I do feel like the heart's on board here. I do feel like there's going to be fruition in this connection because I look at it and I see the wand merging with the cup. So I do feel like this is something that will come to pass. You will take this cup, but there may be something that you need to move away from first, or you may need to take space to really feel out if this is right for you. There might be something that's a little bit of a non-negotiable, that if you're going to go in this direction, there's something else that can't come along for that ride. I feel that really strongly with this pile. Okay, give me more details about this. Reality Tunnel 2. You may be making a physical move. Somebody may be coming to help you move. All right, and this just came as a crossing influence. And it's weird because it's sort of like slid over the first reality tunnel here where the block is. And what do we got here? I mean, wow, it looks like guard coming down, no longer feeling trapped, no longer feeling like you don't know what to do, having clarity, moving forward, may include a move. And there is the King of Wands on the bottom of the deck. Isn't that wild? So these may very well be connecting points, checkpoints. Okay, now the trick is figuring out when are the checkpoints. I mean, we do have this kind of, this is like coming in with the energy signature of 3. We got a lot of 8s coming in with this pile here, I'm noticing. So this could be like the next 3 weeks, then 8 weeks after that, possibly. Let's do a cut of the deck and see what we got here. The Lovers. And that was really connected with Reality Tunnel 1. Interesting. Gemini energy, the choice, also the crossroads. Self-knowledge needs to be activated to move something forward. Self-knowledge comes. Put in the light. Look at that. There's the Stargate. The hope of the stars fulfilled. Enough time for healing, integration, reflection. There's alignment coming in here. And look, that really looks like that Ace of Cups, doesn't it? It looks like that Ace of Cups. The alignment comes in, the path opens. They might be coming in with the Ring of Fire here. The cycle that gets kicked off with the Ring of Fire. There's definitely a choice that's made here, and it does require walking away from one thing to move toward another. That's what I got. Pretty potent energy, heavy hitter energy. Let's get the signs coming through here. We've got strong Gemini, strong Aquarius, Leo rising, also Sagittarius rising. And we have the energy of Scorpio came in pretty strong. Aries, Aquarius, pretty strong Aquarius, Leo rising coming in there. All the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. They also all came in for the first reality tunnel too, as did air signs, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius. So interesting. They do feel like connecting points to me. They do. I think that is how it's kind of like coming through. But it's okay if you just want to take it one at a time. It's okay if you want to just take it one at a time. What else do I want to bring in here? What deck do I want to bring in here for this one? I want to bring in the Occult Tarot and the Angel Tarot on this one, the Angels and Imps. What's on the bottom of the deck for Reality Tunnel 3? Coming in with that Hierophant energy. I think of that Hierophant. I think of the man. Something that's trying to prevent you from getting the keys to your freedom here. Keys that open your road, saying, well, first, you know, you got to follow these procedures before you can find the way through. You got to, you know, deal with all this red tape, all this bureaucratic BS. I'm the intermediary here. You can't pass until you pass through me. This kind of energy. 57 on the clock. 12. Yeah, something that could be holding things up. Something that is a bit of a blind spot. 12th house matter, karmic loop, okay? Something that needs to be completed for this path to open, because this is the pathfinder. This is the path coming into view. This is when the vision merges with the heart and the way through is found. Bottom of the deck. See, we've got that 8 of Swords here for Reality Tunnel 3. Ego getting in the way in this situation. Truth and justice will prevail. There is protection from enemies who would steal one's fortune. Okay, so somebody does have their eyes on your prize, which is maybe why in Reality Tunnel 1 you have to endure in keeping your eyes on the prize and staying focused. Because a little sleight of hand from a clever magician could lead you astray. It is quite possible here. And the more this is sort of threading through, it does feel like a storyline of different connecting points. Okay, different connecting points. Ooh, and 2 cards just got left behind here. What do we got? Here comes the 8 of Wands, okay? Somebody who's trying to save face that wants to communicate here. And they do tell their story very well. It's been well rehearsed multiple times. They are trying to come back into a place of alliance with you, whoever this character is. So there was some kind of falling out of favor here. And this person feels like they know the right things to say to you to get you to open the door to them again. And comes in with 3 of Pentacles. They say they got the answers you need, but they're questionable because I feel like this person is aligned with somebody that you've released. You know, you don't have allegiance to somebody here. We have to remember the message about trusting yourself. You released some allegiance before, right? So this is somebody connected, I feel, to who's approaching you. I think this is speaking of the allegiance that was released. Some allegiance you released is trying to save face, maybe by having somebody else approach you. See if they can get things moving forward for the 2 of you. Knight of Swords coming in to issue some communication here with Judgment. Maybe trying to get you to reverse your judgment on releasing an allegiance here. Judgment comes in with Sagittarian energy. There's also like some kind of concession that's made here as an atonement for errors. It does say whatever information you're getting here, whatever judgment you execute here is absolutely going to protect you from anything that would try to thwart what wants to move forward here. This actually looks like somebody who also is breaking free of an allegiance you already released. That's what I'm seeing. Judgment, yes. They're bringing a tower to somebody because they got knowledge of something that they were up to. This is a person you cut off, okay? Reality Tunnel 3. If that's how you're relating to it, it's Reality Tunnel 3. If you're relating to it as a checkpoint, this is what's going on. Somebody's got receipts. Somebody now understands that you told the truth about a particular situation. They now understand why you released a particular allegiance. And it's got them a bit heated to the point where they're going to take an action. They realize that you were right. This may even be somebody admitting you were right. You were right. You had it right. And here comes Ted wanting to barge in. Hold on. All right. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. Shake it off. Come on in. Lay down, bub. All right. Wait. Don't walk away yet. Remember, it's interesting because when you look at it as like a connecting point, in this second checkpoint here, you were walking away from something. I feel like that's this person barging in and they want to save face by saying, wait, you were right. You were right. I looked into something and you were telling the truth after all. You did have the right judgment call back there. They're trying to make it right. They're trying to make it right. They are saying that, you know, they can help you. I wouldn't doubt it because it does look like this person's kind of getting the memo here. Whatever they're telling you, I think they're telling you about what's been going on in the situation that was developing behind your back in relation to this allegiance you released. They're showing you those receipts. They're giving you some information about this individual. That's what I feel. And they're doing it as a way to let you know, like, I didn't know. I didn't know. Okay, so this is somebody that recognizes they were wrong. Maybe that they aligned themselves with the wrong person. They may have even looked at you like in a side eye sort of way, like they had a negative perception of you. But then this person that you already released here, that they formed an allegiance with, they did something. They did something, they got a little too brazen. They did something that like cut off their nose to spite their face. And then this person is getting the real down low about this person. And because of that, they're approaching you and trying to barge their way in, because I feel like, you know, you walked away from this person too. You know, they were coming in tow and it was like, no. Okay, so this could be like a threes a crowd type of situation here too, or it was just something that was non-negotiable for you. There's not room for you on this path if you're coming with that in tow. That's what I got. The Magician. Look, there's the Magician here too. Yeah. Yeah. This person's definitely going to try to work their magic on you. Strong Gemini energy. Could be a Virgo too. Comes in with the mercurial energy. Definite communication around this. This person is trying to fish for information. Okay? They feel like you got some secrets that they need access to. For those of you that are occultists, this could be somebody who wants access to your magical secrets. Seven of Pentacles. This person wants to bring something to an end. This looks like a suspicious alliance. There is something that's already been brought to a close. It was karmic law coming in with the crow. There's something you've seen very clearly here. You've already had your dignity and honor restored because you made the judgment call. This is not something that another can bestow upon you. This is something that's just by your own self-affirmation here. Nobody else can restore your dignity or your honor. That's an inside job here, okay? And I think this person may be trying to appeal to your vanity in some way as well. You should be aware of this. I feel like a judgment call has already been karmically made in this situation. Crow shows up on the scene when karmic law has already come on through. So something's already been decided. To me, it looks like you made a decision to walk away from this energy here. If you're viewing this as a checkpoint, you walk away from this and then this energy comes back. It's like, but wait. Now, maybe they feel like they have to embarrass themselves a little bit, or sort of they feel like it's being ingratiating or like humiliating themselves to come back and be like, you know, you were right, this kind of thing. But I do feel like they have their own agenda with that. Six of Pentacles. They say that they'll be a good familiar to you. They say that they can assist you. I mean, it comes in with pretty strong Virgo energy. Just with the grizzly bear. Protective energy here. Wanting healing. Wanting reconciliation. Maybe wanting to reconcile you, though, with a friend. Somebody that you've been separated from. It does say reconciles friends. And somebody is going to give you, like, a whole spiel about why things went the way they went. And it looks like they're trying to balance something out between you and a Queen of Cups, or you could be a Queen of Cups. Could even be somebody named Amy coming through here just for that to show up. Water sign energy, Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio, seeking redemption. Seeking redemption and hoping they can get somebody to help them out here to find an inn But it does come in with the magician energy. So that can be a little questionable. You did get the guidance to trust yourself, because whatever action you took was based in you being rooted in your power and your own inner awareness. So do be mindful of that. You did have guidance on releasing allegiances as all of this opened up. Looks like there's allegiances that have been released that are trying to bargain their way back in. It's kind of how it's coming through. Let me see how Reality Tunnel 3 should deal with this. What is the correct judgment call for Reality Tunnel 3 here? Temperance. Somebody's wanting to balance something out. Reconciliation. Somebody wants to reconcile. They want to regain the favor of the one that they offended. Okay, this could be a Sagittarius. Comes in with the Queen of Pentacles here. Earth sign energy. Strong Virgo. Could also be Taurus, Capricorn as well. Or this could be the friend that's coming in to act as an intermediary. Yeah, they're trying to help them bring about this transformation in the situation, right? Five of Wands is what's crossing it, though. There's a conflict here. There's too many politics, social politics. There's too many factions. There's too many personal ambitions here that's problematic in a situation. It's got the energy of eyes on the prize, right? But somebody is trying to figure out what's going on with you. They're trying to get the truth in a situation so they can use it in their favor to win a certain judgment or win favor from a certain camp by getting the inside scoop. So I don't know what that is. You know, I would be mindful of what you reveal to somebody, especially if they're coming in as an intermediary for an alliance you already made a judgment call on and release. There's something you do need to be aware of here, it looks like. Because there's some new beginning here that you need to preserve. There's something you need to preserve here. And somebody wants access to information about what you're up to. This just came over and it linked Reality Tunnel 1 to Reality Tunnel 2. So it seems like something that's happening in this transition right here between you blocking something and coming into alignment with somebody. And somebody's trying to suss this out. So this feels like, it's really interesting the way it's coming through, because it feels like checkpoints no matter which reality tunnel you choose, but almost like checkpoints involving other players in your situation. It just sort of depends on who you are in this scenario. There's something being revived here. It's coming in with the bat medicine and it's crossing Reality Tunnel 1 and 2 here. It joins them together. It's justice. Libra energy coming in really strongly here. But in some decks, you know, 11 is Leo energy, even though it is justice in this deck. So I just want to bring that in, that there's some past connection here. There's been Leo indications that have been weaving throughout these reality tunnels. So there could be something that really does have its roots in the past. But when we've got the bat medicine coming in, bat is about renewal energy, reviving something. It's rebirth cycle. It's also going through a major initiation, and it's also good luck. And this is you coming into knowledge of how somebody that once used to be held in high regard took a fall, right? You're hearing about how the angels fell here. Like somebody you used to view a certain way, and now your perspective of them has been marred because you've seen a different side of them. I feel like somebody really showed you their shadow. You saw it very clearly. And this is what caused you to make that judgment call in an alliance you released. And you got somebody here that's trying to get you to give it another go. What you do about that, that's, you know, a matter of personal choice, but you should trust yourself in what you released. You did see something accurately. I mean, it will put you back into the Eight of Swords. I see that. I see that. And there is truth and justice coming through in this situation, where any plans or strategies that's being born from a place of just acquisition or wanting to best someone or coming from ego generated motivations, it's not going to be successful. There's protection. There's protection here from somebody that would like to steal your fortune. And when I say steal your fortune, something that has been aligned for you because fortune favors you. Yeah, and Four of Pentacles here. There's something you do need to protect. You do need to preserve here. Because there's a thief here. They're tempted to snatch it from you. And they'll give off the face of being an excellent familiar, somebody you can trust. So you got the guidance here, however you choose to relate to this. Separate reality tunnels. If you're relating to this as separate reality tunnels, all of these reality tunnels are interconnected in some way. I feel like it's looking at different lenses of the other reality tunnels the key players in your situation are looking down. And that came in 1-16-16. There's obviously like something that's very awakening here. There's been towers here. There's more awakening moments coming. It's up to you whether it's a destructive tower or a tower of power. You are the magician. You hold the power in your hands. It's all about the action you take here. But this is some perspectives to work with. And also, I do feel like it's stages of development too, because it does sort of have that flow to it. I think you noticed the ways that things kind of looped back around and connected here. There's a foundation of something you do need to preserve here. So let me stick with this deck here for one moment. And let me get an overall message coming through for the collective here, regardless of which reality tunnel they chose or how they're relating to this. Whether they're relating to it as different checkpoints. Because, hey, it's pick your adventure. So it's all about how you choose to relate to the energy. Yeah, this is what you can't see. It's very important that you maintain your focus. I mean, that's what really started everything out with Reality Tunnel 1. Maintain your focus. Keep your eyes on the prize, lest you miss your mark with the Nine of Swords. See, because what's brewing here, if you let something in, is a real battle. There's a lot of resentment here. I do feel like somebody's bitter in this situation and they want to try to stir things up because they feel anxious about losing some position of power and they don't know how to get back into that position of power. Perhaps because you released that allegiance and it was the fact that you were connected and maybe information about you they had access to. Understanding what your plans were, your feelings, you know, whatever this is, that gave them an upper hand, maybe in relation to a particular group. Okay, so I don't know if they were the person that was giving others information about you, you know. I don't know what this is, but they are very bitter that you made a choice to walk away. That's what I feel. Let me get any further details about this. Yeah, you walked away. Lovers in reverse. You didn't fall for the ruse. I don't think that you're going to fall for a ruse where somebody's been deceptive. I don't think you're going to be taken in by this Nine of Cups. You're going to make sure that you're going after what's fulfilling you, what's filling you up at this time. You're healing, and you're really avoiding anything that takes you back to old spaces you've already transcended. I really feel that. Spaces that didn't honor you, spaces that did treat you in an indignified manner. I don't feel like you're going back to that. Okay? Whatever that was, there was no growth there. It says makes women barren. So I think of that. And I think the Empress can't produce there. There's no growth there. Nothing can come through. Nothing can come through. With whatever you cut off here where you did release an allegiance, that was blocking something that wanted to grow for you. And it was necessary to sacrifice that. Sometimes you have to let things go in order to move forward lightly, you know, not weighed down by a bunch of baggage and a lot of stuff that's just going to slow you down and keep you in a space that you've outgrown. So I feel like you're going to continue to stay on this track of preserving what is healthy for you in your life. You're not wanting to get back to any level of feeling compromised or like you're having to live out of an outdated aspect of yourself that you've outgrown. There's something you've transformed here. Okay, cut of the deck. What do we got? The Hangman. Hangman. You know, I think you freed yourself from an old identity. You're not going to get hung up here in this place. There's something you've really come to understand. And there may be somebody here that recognizes that time's up on the old game. Time's up on the way things used to be. Like, that's not how things go down anymore. And they would like to trade places, you know, and have you take their spot. But I don't see you doing that. I don't see you getting hung up here. Yeah, you've already balanced something out with this trickster. This is a shifty character here. A shapeshifter. They change themselves like a chameleon to suit their environment and their needs in the moment. And yeah. You know, there's some things that are going to be revealed to you about the past, and they're going to inform your steps in the future. 122 on the clock coming in there. So there is an alignment coming in here that does give you absolute clarity about where transformation is needed, what action you need to take here. But at the same time, you know that reconciling with a certain character also reconciles you with a questionable association, something you already released allegiance to. So in cases like that, I don't see you taking the bait. All right. And let's go ahead and get one round of the Arcane BS just to sort of like cap it off with any final closing messages here. I saw the parasitic fruit there. Yeah, isn't that wild? With nobody here. Yeah, you're not nobody. You know who you are. You know who you are. And you're not a future grandma. You know, you're not going to be hanging out here when you've already revealed certain things that were kept secret from you. Once you have the vision of how to move forward, you're not going to be hanging out anywhere. You're maybe tricking a trickster here. Yeah, you're tricking a trickster here. They thought they had you figured out. They thought they saw everything very clearly about how to dupe you here, but they're recognizing a plan is foiled here. You already saw into their secrets. There's something you already saw. And I feel like they need access to you, because without you, they are blocked now. Isn't that interesting? It's like whatever was blocking you is now feeling blocked because they don't have access to you, because they need to know what your next move is in order for their scheme to play out the way they had in mind. Interesting energy. They're going to try, though. They are going to try. This energy will try. But keep your eyes on the prize, okay? There's a lot of distractions out there. There's a lot of things that, you know, can seem fun for the moment, okay? But keep keep your focus on your main objective here. Don't lose sight of why you started down this road. Don't lose sight of why you did need to release an allegiance either. There was a reason why you needed to let that go. It was so you could freely head down a particular road that you've been experiencing a lot of obstacles down. So don't allow yourself to get pulled back into the same old scenario. Yep. Don't allow yourself to get, yes, I love it. Don't allow yourself to get pulled back into the same old scenario, all right? You're on the rise here. You have whipped up a little bit of chaos because you went off the beaten path. You did the unexpected thing, and I do feel like your wild nature is coming forward. You got the road opening to the stone of destiny here. Stag energy forward. You have what it takes to get there, to activate your north node. You have the strength to rise above the challenges of the past. You understand that anything that got stirred up with the tower, though it may have brought a little bit of chaos, though it may have been a little destabilizing, it also awakened the strongest, most wild, free, rebellious parts of you that are really rising above the challenges of the past. And you got a new beginning here. And you got a higher perspective here. And this is your crowning moment. So don't allow this to drag you back down and anchor you in the south node. Because then really you're going to do yourself a disservice of all of this deep integrative work you did here. You do got some alignment coming in for you, but there's also something coming in here to be aware of that should not come forward because it will trip you up. It'll trip you up just as you're about to take that leap off the cliff of the Fool into your new beginning. All right, cut of the deck to cap this off. All right. So yes, your brain's going to be very, very active here, okay? And I do feel like this is a situation where it is complicated. It is like 6 degrees of separation. There's a lot of interconnection between players, maybe even intimate connections, okay? Something can be a bit messy, but I also feel that your brain is teeming with creativity right now. And you got a lot firing off there that's really having you act in a way that's unpredictable. And I do feel like where there used to be a lot of familiarity, maybe even shared intimate connections or a real tight-knit social group here, well, however you've been moving, it's different than you've ever moved before, and it's confused this group of people. They want to know what's on your mind, what your next move is, because they can feel that there's a lot of creative energy teeming here, and there's something you're about to give birth to here, and it's very secret. It's like something you're concealing. All that juice, you're holding it inside. You're not sharing it with anybody. And I mean, this is a way that, you know, some people may be trying to find an in, is through intimacy. This has been coming out quite a bit. Oh, interesting. There's 2 cards that got left behind here that I didn't pick up. What are these? These might give some more clues. Oh, no. It's the same ones. I just put them back here. It was Chaos Mom here. Yeah, Chaos Mom. Chaos Mom's ready to birth a new beginning. She's keeping her mouth shut, okay? She's not talking about what she's up to because she knows there's people who would like to know what she's got in store so they can bring an end to it, okay? Yeah, Galaxy Dad. Time's up here, man. Time's up. Because of what you were loyal to. It brings annihilation. That's what I see. It brings annihilation. Sometimes you miss the call. Sometimes you miss a critical juncture point and the road closes to you because you got lodged into a certain track of some kind of BS, right? And maybe it's not until that BS passes that you shall pass. It's kind of how the energy comes through, because I do feel like the collective is trusting their instincts on this one due to self-knowledge. Something they already figured out, something they've already seen for what it is, and they ain't going along for that ride. 1:29:22 on the clock. Justice and then alignment at the appropriate time, but a test along the way. That's how it's coming through. All right. Godspeed.